Hurry up! I'm a busy engine, huffed Henry. Goods arrived night and day at the docks. Sometimes Henry and the other engines worked so hard that their axles ached. So Topmat brought in a new engine to help with the heavy workloads. He was long and had 10 drive wheels. He looked very strong.
This is Murdoch. He's going to be pulling freight on the main line.
Ahoy, matey!
Shouted Salty.
Welcome, Murdoch.
Called Harvey.
You're the biggest engine I've ever seen.
Cried Thomas.
You're a chutty lot.
Murdoch said quietly. Soon Murdoch was coupled to a long line of heavy freight cars. His boiler strained, his wheels started to turn, and the mighty engine chuffed away. Murdoch longed for some peace and quiet, but everywhere he went it was noisy and crowded. At the end of the day, Murdoch was looking forward to a good night's rest, but Salty and Harvey were full of questions.
What's the longest train you ever pulled?
Have you ever worked,
Have you
Marcelly?
ever crashed?
Please. I want some peace and quiet, and I don't want to share a shed with chatterboxes.
No need to be rude.
Huffed Harvey.
Hey, we're only being friendly, matey.
The next morning, Murdoch collected another long, heavy train. This time he chuffed into the beautiful countryside. It was splendid. At last he had some peace and quiet. Suddenly, his driver applied the brake. There were sheep on the tracks,
The sheep escaped from that field.
said the
Through
driver.
broken fence.
The driver and the fireman tried to chase the sheep back, first this way, and then that way. They tried everything, but nothing worked,
We'll never move those sheep by ourselves.
complained the fireman.
I'll go phone for help.
Sighed the driver. Murdoch was very unhappy. The noisy sheep were spoiling his peace and quiet, so Topham Hatt was enjoying afternoon tea when he got the call.
Sheep?
He exclaimed
I'll
loudly.
send Toby with the farmer immediately.
The sheep were becoming noisier and noisier,
Please stop.
groaned
I'm gonna be
Murdoch.
back with the chatterbox engines.
Just then, Toby chuffed into view,
Toby!
exclaimed
We're
Murdoch.
certainly glad to see you.
Before long, the farmer and his dog went to work, and the sheep were soon safely in their field. Murdoch was on his way again.
Thanks, Toby.
That evening, Murdoch parked between Harvey and Salty, but Murdoch spoke first.
I'm sorry that I was cross.
He
I'm
chuffed.
very pleased to share a shed with you.
We're pleased to have your company.
Said Harvey.
Hey, we are.
Added Salty.
It reminds me of a story.
Murdoch smiled. The sound of ba 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 would have kept him awake, but a Salty story would send him happily to sleep.
Oh yes, it's great to be an engine and go steaming along. A puff, puff, puffing along. A peep, peep, peeping along. All the people waving as you speed along. A puff, puff, puffing along all day. We're all so proud to be famous engines. and travel through the countryside. We're always brave when there's hills to climb. No mountain is too high. Oh yes, it's great to be an engine as you're steaming along.